seated. Good afternoon. I'm Rosemary Mitchell, a member of the Illinois Tech Board of Trustees and chair of the Stuart School Business Board of Advisors. On behalf of the board, the dean, the faculty, and the staff, I extend a warm welcome to all of you who are celebrating the accomplishments of our graduates today. I would like to take a moment to thank my fellow board members for attending the ceremony. Please stand as I read your name. James Hill Jr. and Patricia Turnbell, as well as trustee Ellen Jordan. Now you can clap. I also want to extend a special thank you to our keynote speaker, Bluford Putnam, and our student speakers, Ethan Christopher Castro and Michelle Micah Vanderstuyf. To the families and close friends of our graduates, those who have traveled from across the globe to be here today, and those celebrating with us from afar, thank you for supporting these remarkable students during their years of study. Most importantly, I welcome the students of Stuart's graduating class of 2019. Yay! Earlier this morning, we enjoyed recognizing all of Illinois Tech's graduates at the university opening ceremony. This afternoon, we have the pleasure of coming together as a college to individually recognize each of you as a graduate of the Stuart School of Business. We have a wonderful ceremony for you this afternoon. In addition to our distinguished keynote speaker, you will hear from your fellow graduates and from Stuart's dean, Dr. John Belson. We hope today's ceremony will honor your accomplishments and inspire you to seek out and embrace the opportunities as well as the challenges that await you in the next chapter of your lives. I would like to begin our ceremony by introducing our keynote speaker, Dr. Bluford Putnam. Blue Putnam is Managing Director and Chief Economist of the CME Group. He is responsible for leading global economic analysis and monitoring developments in futures and options markets. Prior to joining CME Group, Blue gained more than 35 years of experience in financial services industry with concentrations on central banking, investment research, and portfolio management. Blue holds a PhD degree in economics from Tulane University. He has authored 5 books on international finance and published academic journals such as the American Economic Review and the Journal of Finance, among many others. In the past, he has served on the adjunct faculty of several business schools, including the Wharton School, New York University, and Columbia University. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our esteemed keynote speaker, Blue Putnam.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real honor and a pleasure to be here at Illinois Tech. And, I just have to thank Rosemary so much and my old friend John Bilson for inviting me here. John and I have been arguing about economics for 4 decades, and you're going to hear some more of those today, I'm sure. I also want to thank the student speakers and especially the graduates and their families and parents for being here. This is just an amazing event and an amazing change in your life that's coming. So my topic today is the role of technology in the economy of tomorrow. And John, by the way, assigned me that topic. but I wouldn't let him write the speech. So anyway, we're going to talk about a little bit about the history of transitions in technology and economies, a little bit about how, as an economist, you might want to analyze those changes, and then we'll get more specific about what it means for managing your career and the transitions you'll be going through as graduates. So first, a few lessons from the history of technology. Now, this is going to be pretty quick, so there's many other topics here, but really one of the big things that happened and happens with technological change is we've seen a move from the rural to the urban society. It started back in the 17 and 1800s, and it's still continuing in various places around the world. And it's a huge transition that technology has made possible. But now, fast forward, we're in the information age. We have robotics, we have 3D printing, we're going to have self-driving cars. Well, you may have a self-driving car. We have artificial intelligence, we have machine learning. There's so many things going on in the technology of today. And one of the things that we get from the lessons of studying the technological change we've had in the past is that economies always emerge stronger. Things get better, but the transitions can be very difficult. The transitions can be painful for some of the people involved, even if the outcomes are better. So we're going to talk about both of those things today. Another thing we've observed is that the pace of change seems to be happening faster. It's accelerating. And the big difference here is that in some of the technological changes of the past, it took a generation or 2 generations to absorb that change. Now, it's coming so fast and the accelerated pace that your generation is going to absorb multiple changes. And that, by the way, is a huge difference, to be in the middle of many transitions during your career rather than just 1 or 2. So let's talk a little bit about how we manage change. And the really lesson I want to take from this is you have to understand the business you're in. Back in the 1880s, there were people that were in the ice delivery business. At least that's what the business they thought they were in. But they were actually in the refrigeration business. So they were delivering ice, and the people that didn't understand they were in the refrigeration business missed the whole technology of change for refrigeration. And we wiped out the deliveries, but we created a whole new industry in refrigeration. So you really need to think about the business you're in, not the job you're doing. Now, innovation can be disruptive, but my company, CME Group, has gone through a number of innovations, and it's worth just taking a few lessons. By the way, what CME Group does, we're the operator of futures and options exchanges around the world. So we're in the risk management and price discovery business. A farmer who's planting his corn crop right now, if it wasn't raining so much, that farmer planting his corn crop can sell his corn for delivery in September, and he can lock in the price today. That's what futures markets can do, so that he can dramatically lower the risk of being a farmer. That allows him to use his capital more efficiently, have larger farms, produce more. That's all about the price discovery and risk management that goes on in futures and options markets. And we don't just provide it for the farmer. We've been doing that. That's our roots from hundreds of years back. But we do it for people in the energy business, the metals business, if you're in foreign exchange, equities, interest rates. We have markets for all of those risk management jobs. Now, we've had innovation in our business, and it's been quite disruptive. The first innovation that really made a huge difference for the futures markets occurred in 1972. And that was when the United States backed away from the gold standard. Foreign exchange rates began to float. John and I started writing research on exchange rates. And that transition, the CME Group launched the first futures contracts, the first financially futures contracts on foreign exchange. And that led to contracts on interest rates and then contracts on equity indexes. And those are now our biggest businesses, but it was a tremendously disruptive change for the financial markets here in Chicago. And then the next change that my company was involved in was electronification. You can see some old pictures of the way trading used to be done. You have these pits, thousands of people, hundreds of people yelling and screaming. They make little signals. They buy, they sell. All of these things were the way the trading was done. And then the electronification came in the 1990s. By 2003, all of those traders were almost all gone. By 2012-13, the pits, what we call them the pits, the trading pits, were closed. Those people had to find other jobs. Some of them retired. Some of them moved what we call upstairs and started trading on the screens. But it was very disruptive for many lives. But it produced a much more efficient marketplace that allowed for much better risk management, faster growing economies, and so forth. So the change was good, but the disruption was challenging. So now where are we? One of the things that, again, in my company that we have to appreciate, and you have to analyze when you look at companies, is whether or not you're in a network or not. There are many companies that are in networks, like Amazon, the way it sells, eBay, the auction shop. The difference in a networking company and a non-networking company is something that's really important to know in this information age, because more and more companies are involved like that. And a networking effect is if I buy the product and you buy the product, it's better for me and for you. That is, the more people that participate in a Google search, the better the searches are. You find out your information faster. The more people that participate in a market run by CME Group, the better that market functions. So that the companies that are involved in networking effects, and that's a lot of technology companies, those are the ones that are leading the way into the future. And you really need to understand when you're in one of those networking effects exactly how the process gets better for everybody as you grow that business. Now let's switch gears, talk a little bit about how we analyze change. Now I don't know if many of you know, but economists are uniquely unable to do math. Many economists try to do math, and they pretend to do math, but when we really have to analyze something as sophisticated as complex change in the economic system, typically what a really good economist does is go talk to his friends in the physics department. And that's what I've done to analyze complex systems. One of the things that I find most useful as a framework for analysis is something called phase transitions. A phase transition is when you go from a liquid to a gas, as an example. And you understand what being a liquid is, you understand what being a gas is, but the transition, think about boiling water. All the bubbles, all the chaos, it's at the surface, it's at the boundary line. So when you're analyzing transitions, you need to analyze going not from what's A look like and B look like, what's a liquid or a gas look like. You've got to focus on analyzing all the chaos that's happening at the boundary, at the transition. And you're going to be in multiple transitions through your careers. For example, we have the warming of the oceans. That's changing our climate. That's a huge transition to adapt to. We have demographic transitions. We have the aging, retiring baby boomers, the millennials coming on. And by the way, the millennials just aren't going to pick up the slack. And here's the problem. There are more boomers than there are millennials. And millennials are entering the economy with more debt. So they're going to get married later. They're going to buy a house later. They're going to have kids later. And we think they may never buy a car because of Uber and ride sharing. So those are transitions you have to analyze. And then there's some other transitions going on in the world of energy. Transportation is getting more efficient, but so is the process of extracting energy. So these are all important transitions, and there are many more, and they're happening at once. And so they're going to make your careers very interesting. So let's talk a little bit about your career. Well, actually, let's talk first about my dad's career. My dad spent 40 years at the same company. And he did different jobs, and he moved up, but it was a very secure place to work for 40 years, very comfortable. And now you take my career. I've been an economist. That's the way I know how to think. That's the jobs I do are all related to economics. But I've worked for half a dozen different companies, and I've had to go through many shifts of tasks, but I've still really had one career. Now let's think about you. You're probably going to have several careers because things are just changing faster. So you have to be thinking not really about your skill sets, not even about that first job, next job, but about the different changes that your career will take and the different parts of your career as these transitions unfold before you. So what kind of skills are going to be required? The first one I emphasize is agility. Now, if say you're a general in the Army and you develop a great battle plan, most battle plans crumble with the first contact with the enemy. That doesn't mean you lose the battle. It just means you have to make adjustments on the ground right away. And that's what agility means. You can plan all you want, but when the rubber hits the road, you've got to make decisions on the ground in a very agile way. And that's a skill that it's hard to acquire. Another skill that you need is problem solving. The problem solvers are going to be the people that rise up in this society. Routine tasks, they're necessary, but if you want to really take advantage of the technological change that's coming, you're going to need to be focused on how can I solve people's problems. And then I have to mention this, that things are pretty unclear when you're at these boundary lines, this chaos in the transitions. So you have to learn how to deal with ambiguity. If you can't deal with ambiguity, you're not going to make it. CEOs in today's world, the most important criteria for being a good CEO is the ability to deal with uncertainty and ambiguity. Things just aren't certain. And that takes me into the observation that we're really dealing, when we use data and quantitative systems, we're dealing in a way where we're looking at trying to figure out the probabilities. We're not trying to say there's going to be a thunderstorm at 6 o'clock. We're trying to say there's an 80% chance that there's going to be a thunderstorm at 6 o'clock. We don't know with that kind of precision. Now, I did have a friend in economics that told me, very good advice, by the way, if you go into the forecasting field, that when you make aggressive forecasts, do it with great precision. And he did that because he knew that he was going to be wrong, but he wanted people to understand that they thought he was really precise about how he was making that forecast. So I never tell you that the pound is going down 10%. I tell you that the pound is going to be 1.3725 or something. It's that greater precision. That's just a marketing tool. Another thing that you're going to have to think about, more and more of you are going to be involved in quantitative activities. And with quantitative activities, there's a little catch here. A friend of mine, Professor Markowitz, Harry Markowitz, he won the Nobel Prize in 1990, and he and I were talking one day, and Harry said, Blue, when you do your quantitative models, do you show your boss the best models? Of course, Harry, I only show him my best models. Or her. Actually, my boss was a woman at the time. Anyway, I showed her my best models, and what does Harry say? Well, Blue, you got to understand, or he was a little more negative. Blue, you do understand that your best model has the most luck in it. And when I started to analyze that, man, he was right. And I started to build models very, very differently. I would build models that I thought I could understand, that would be more robust, that could last a little longer, even though maybe they weren't my absolute best on a quantitative analysis. So separating luck from skill is something you really need to focus on. And then, of course, you've got to be forward-thinking about the culture of tomorrow. You've got to be looking forward, taking your career forward, going forward. You do not want to be part of the culture of yesterday. So you need to embrace change. You need to embrace ambiguity. You need to seek out and seize the opportunities, because there are going to be many opportunities. But perhaps foremost, you need to enjoy the journey and make a contribution, a positive contribution, to all the people around you that are sharing that journey with you. Thank you.
So before you take your seat, I would like to invite Dean Bilson to come up, but as I see, he's already here, and we'd like to present you with our token of our gratitude commemorating this occasion.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Okay, so let's get a picture here.
Thank you again. Thank you again, Blue, for your inspiring remarks. At this time, I would like to introduce our undergraduate student commencement speaker, Ethan Christopher Castro. Ethan, we can applaud later. Okay. I have more to say about Ethan. Ethan came to Illinois Tech Stuart School of Business after graduating from Elk Grove High School in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Alongside his core courses, he used his undergraduate years to serve and lead a variety of student organizations. He served as a member at large for the Illinois Tech President's Student Advisory Council, secretary of the Undergraduate Business Council Student Organization, and secretary for the Residence Hall Association. He was elected as a senator for the Student Government Association and served as editor-in-chief of Tech News, the university student newspaper. In 2018, Ethan was selected for the Clinton R. Stryker Distinguished Service Award. In 2019, the American Society for Public Administration honored him as Stuart's Outstanding MPA Student of the Year for his record of academic and service achievements. With a master's in public administration degree, which is part of Stuart's coterminous program, he hopes to continue a career in academia. It is my pleasure to welcome Ethan Christopher Castro to the podium.
Thank you, Board Chair Mitchell. I also want to thank Dean Bilson, members of the Illinois Tech Board of Trustees, members of the Stuart School Board of Advisors, faculty, staff, family and friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2019. I am deeply honored to be standing before you as the undergraduate commencement speaker today. What brought me to the Stuart School of Business? I'm sure for many of us in this room, there were many things about this institution that speak to us on both personal and professional levels. Our proximity to the global city of Chicago, the generous scholarships here that, true to the original founding mission of Illinois Tech, allow students of all backgrounds to pursue the skills they need for the future, or the cutting-edge programs we have in areas such as finance, marketing analytics, public administration, and more. I can go on and on. But for me, personally, I always answered that the biggest draw was the sense of welcome I felt the moment I set foot here. As a high school senior, one of my first times on the Illinois Tech campus was when I stayed the night for what was known at the time as Scholarship Weekend. During this weekend, in addition to a series of tours and informational sessions designed to introduce prospective students to this campus, we were given the opportunity to have a one-on-one interview with a faculty member to be considered for additional merit scholarships. Like pretty much all of my senior year of high school, I was a nervous wreck in the hours leading up to my interview. It certainly didn't calm me down when I was told that I needed to head all the way over to the 18th floor of the IIT Tower to have my interview with a Dr. John Twombly in his office. While we had interacted over email a few times prior to this meeting, I still didn't know much about who Dr. Twombly was, or more importantly, his endless propensity for puns. Despite all this ambiguity and nervousness, the moment I sat down in Dr. Twombly's office, I knew this was the school I was going to attend. To even call it an interview, I feel, is misleading. He talked to me as if I were already a student here, getting a feel for my professional aspirations and personal goals, and serving more as a mentor than an evaluator. This was the moment that I felt the most welcome here at the Stuart School of Business. Of course, this was all before I ever had to actually take one of Dr. Twombly's classes, where he is anything but your friend. In fact, due to AP credit I gained through high school, I foolishly took his suggestion to take his Business 211 accounting course my first semester here at Illinois Tech. Let's just say that was a formative experience as a first-year student here. And yet my point still stands that the faculty and staff at the Stuart School of Business are more than just teachers, researchers, and evaluators. They are mentors, advisors, and friends. This initial welcome was emblematic of my entire experience through my coursework, both at the undergraduate and graduate levels. Every faculty and staff member I have had the pleasure of interacting with didn't just care about me as another grade for them to tally. They genuinely care about all of us as careers to help build and people to help grow. I can point to any of the prior professors that I have had here with us today and give at least one personal story of a time they went out of their way to make me feel affirmed in what I was doing and my status not just as a student but as a person, and I'm absolutely sure that I am not alone in that. Oftentimes at a traditional business school, this vital human aspect goes ignored in the pursuit of productivity metrics or the fabled bottom line, but it is precisely this human metric that makes us who we are and is the reason for everything we do. And luckily, this is a reality that does not go ignored at Stuart. Indeed, perhaps it's for the better that a Stuart degree isn't just a standard business curriculum. I think it occupies a sweet spot in between the welcoming human element that I just talked about and our overarching namesake of being an institute of technology. In the 1890s, this university was founded to help students be leaders in an increasingly industrial and later a digital world. First, there were classes in business and later a business school that supplemented the original mission of Illinois Tech. A Stuart graduate has lived and worked alongside contemporaries in the industries of the future, from all disciplines of engineering to computer science to the digital humanities. Stuart education on Illinois Tech's campuses exposes us to the areas that we will need to know as practicing professionals so that we can lead the emerging world instead of just watch it happen. For example, while I had core classes in areas like marketing, accounting, and HR management, because this is Illinois Tech, I also at the same time took a course in architectural physics, learned some basic JavaScript coding, took an iPro to measure light pollution, and led a student newspaper. And I'm just one student in this institution. The room before me is full of bright, promising souls that I know have already begun their journeys to lead our world in the vital business areas of administration, finance, marketing, entrepreneurship, and many more. As we go forth today, I implore you all to remember not just the business content that Stuart has given you, but the incredibly generous staff and faculty members that gave us countless memories and mentorship during our time as students. I congratulate you all as the 2019 Stuart School of Business graduating class. Thank you.
And now we'd like to present you with a crystal plaque commemorating your selection as Student Speaker of 2019. I would now like to introduce our graduate student commencement speaker, Michelle Meiker Vanderstreif. Michelle has over 25 years of industry experience, 2 patents, and is president and CEO of BizStrat Technology Corporation. She recently founded the nonprofit Flytail and serves on the boards for Illinois Technology Foundation, Lewis University, and Triton College. Michelle is active in various organizations with a focus on cultivating diversity in STEM and developing future talent. Her degrees in computer science, airway science, math, and now her MBA have equipped her with the knowledge to cultivate technological change. Michelle is married with 2 college-bound teens and is a longtime resident in the Chicago area. It is my pleasure to welcome Michelle Meiker Vanderstreif.
Thank you, Board Chair Mitchell. Thank you, Dean Bilson, members of the Illinois Tech Board of Trustees, Stuart's Board of Advisors, all faculty and staff, all the family and friends, and the graduating class of 2019. I want to congratulate each and every one of you here today. You are here full of knowledge and experience gained through perseverance, and there is no better combination for success. It's amazing how life deals you what you need when you need it, isn't it? Rarely is the timing ideal, if ever. We live in a time where everyone is accustomed to immediate information and results at their fingertips. Busy has become the norm. From career to education to family, it all factors into what we call life. Through it all, one thing remains the same: hard work, which is the root of Chicago. I have taken on many challenges and certainly don't shy away from difficulty. With that being said, Illinois Tech had a great responsibility to deliver on my expectations, and did that and so much more. As an undergrad, I had a unique situation where creative scheduling allowed me to apply the education real time to simultaneously grow my career. Today, nearly 20 years later, Illinois Tech has made that type of education a reality and continues to innovate the educational landscape. As they say, the only constant is change and taxes, which Illinois is really good at. But Chicago is giving Silicon Valley a run for its money and evolving as the place to innovate and create business and technology epicenters. Innovation is critically important, and the spirit is strong and thriving in the graduate programs here at Illinois Tech. From design to business to finance, after 27 years in industry, I can firmly say we need people to question how things work, ways to solve difficult problems creatively, and then get to work and make it happen. Challenges are opportunities. Opportunities are plentiful and growing daily. However, we wouldn't be here today without the faculty at Illinois Tech. They are passionate, dedicated, and amazing. More importantly, though, they are real people, reasonable, and willing to learn from their students, which is a critical component of a well-rounded education and professional world. As we all know, every journey carries with it some unexpected surprises. And I'd like to mention two that I found here at Illinois Tech. First, I found something I hadn't had in a long time: a community of peers who were like me. Over the years, many remark on the endeavors I take on, the insane hours, and the hard work. When things are too important and not doing them isn't an option, I find a way to make it happen. People often say to me, "You're crazy, and I don't know how you do it all." But at Stuart, my different was normal. And I realized the path to get there took on many forms, but I was in good company. I found myself surrounded by other hardworking, ambitious, intelligent peers who work just as hard as I do and often are smarter than I am. I learned a lot from their different approaches and perspectives and grew as a business leader and a person. To those people, the Adams, the Chris's, the Mikes, the Leslies, Lynnettes, and Sabas, I say thank you. The community for balance and growth is alive and well in the culture that is Illinois Tech. Second is the challenge. In the words of Professor Goldhar, the content is condensed and compressed, not abridged. As part of the accelerated MBA, we traded our Saturdays for 2 years straight to get the degree. The program was fast-paced, but the quality was never compromised. Not for a moment did I feel shortchanged. In fact, I felt completely overflowing with resources that mattered and could be applied immediately to make a significant impact today. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the inclusion and diversity I experienced here. From varied levels of experience, age, background, and focus, including the dual degree ID students in our MBA program, the diversity was impressive. Ranging from classmates from Mexico, Brazil, and Australia, to those I met who commuted in from New York and Washington, D.C. to attend Saturday classes, and probably got to campus quicker than anyone can on a Monday morning in Chicago traffic. In closing, I had someone tell me recently that I always need to do more, that it's never enough. I agree, but I don't see it as a bad thing per se. After all, if we were all happy with status quo, how boring would the world be? We wouldn't grow, innovate, or create. So I continue to learn when to say it's good enough and embrace those who say, I've got this. Congratulations once again on all you have accomplished to get to this point today. The world needs all of you to create and evolve our future, solve the difficult problems, challenge the status quo, think out of the box, and contribute to the community of innovators and business leaders. And don't forget to pay it forward by giving and sharing what you have experienced. Ask questions, give answers, provide perspective. Stay imaginative of all the possibilities that there are and make them realities. Thank you.
We'd like to present you with a crystal plaque commemorating your selection as student commencement speaker. Thank you to all our speakers for their engaging talks. It is now time to recognize each of our graduates for the completion of their degrees and to present them with their diplomas. Before we begin this portion of the ceremony, I want to recognize the graduates wearing the blue and gold stoles and honor cords today, just like this. These students are members of the Global Honor Society Beta Gamma Sigma, and they represent the top academic achievers at Stuart. Please stand, Beta Gamma Sigma members. Congratulations on your achievement. To present each student with their diplomas, today I invite Dean John Bilson and Faculty Chair Elizabeth Durango-Cohen to center stage. I also invite Dr. Ricky Cooper to stand and congratulate the Doctor of Philosophy and Management Science graduates, and invite Dr. Lee Tsai to the side podium, which is over there. to read the graduate names. Doctoral candidates were hooded at the university's PhD hooding ceremony held yesterday. A little traffic confusion up here.
I now invite the Doctor of Philosophy in Management Science graduates to come forward to be recognized. Sheng Si Li. Miao Miao Pan. Jing Qi Zhang. Tian Yu Zhao. We will now recognize the graduates receiving a Master of Business Administration degree. I invite Associate Dean and Program Director, Dr. Krishna Aramili, to congratulate the graduates. Michelle Michael van der Stuyff. Michael Agnan. Nur Tala Asulami. El Bala Abdulaziz El Gay. Lynette Van Der Chu. Maria Claudia Escobar Jaruf. Hala Adris I. Hajarini. Muhammad Aibash. Isha Khalid. Catherine Lanigan. Abir Manshu. Adam Michael North. Carmen Edito Campbell Otubusen. Cosette Adifamilola Otubusen. Monica Padadaha, Anjali Rabindranath, we are honored to have with us today Ellen Jordan, an alumna with 2 degrees from Illinois Tech, 1 from Stuart, and a member of Illinois Tech's Board of Trustees. She will present her daughter with her diploma. Bridget Kathleen Reedy, Yu Wan Sun, Chao Xiang Cai, Hao Nan Zhao, Fan Zhou, Yi Zhi Zhou, we will now recognize the graduate receiving a dual degree, Master of Business Administration and Master of Science in Finance. The graduate is Si Yuan Han. We will now recognize the graduates receiving a Master of Science in Management Science degree. I invite Dr. Ricky Cooper to congratulate the graduates. Ji Yu Quack, Kai Lu, Xi Qiao Ou Yang, Abhishek Singh, we will now recognize the graduates receiving a Master of Science in Sustainability Management. I invite Associate Dean and Program Director, Dr. Roland Kalia, to congratulate the graduates. Roxanne Afkan, Tian Lan, Sukrit Mishra, Jia Shen Xu, Jin Yu Yang, we will now recognize the graduates receiving a Master of Science in Marketing Analytics. I invite Associate Dean and Program Director, Dr. Krishna Aramili, to congratulate the graduates, and invite Dr. Dinaka Jarajan to read the graduates' names.
Hang Deng, Devika Deer, Ashta Katil. Soyin Lee. Chen Liu. Anupriya Narayanan. Anand Naik. Yu Chiao. Tian Li Ren. Ritika Roy. Karan Sanjay Shah. Shreyash Sanjeev Shah. Conrad Schnishik. Jasmine Dorothea Sturshabaya. Himank Sahai Washne. Wenyan Wang. Yuang Wei. Tianshu Yu. Yingmei Sang. Uttarkarsh Agarwal. We will now recognize the graduates receiving a Master of Science in Finance. I invite Assistant Program Director, Dr. Ricky Cooper, to congratulate the graduates and invite Dr. Yi Wei Feng to read the graduate names.
Chloe Teresa Algan. Sarah Nabi Alsai. Andrea T. Becker. Jiannan Chen. Shoubin Chen. Xu Chen. Wenhao Fan. Chen Hao Gao. Ivan Alejandro Garcia Chavez. Tingyu Han. Xiaoting Huang.可丽金。嘉春李。齐文刘。宇宁王。 一晨吴宾阳Ritika Sajev Nayak Jay Kumar Babubai Patel Babstein Segord Karish Shudakar Shetty Srishala Prakash Shetty Jingyi Shi Arjinkia Govind Shrinkandi Shribi Singh Shribi Jaryash Shutarish Anirudh Tota Yaslav Morgan Srisha Vinjakumar Tianma Wang Charles Pearson Wolf Xiu Feng Xu Heng Yao Zhang Tong Chen Zhang Chen Hao Zhou Lei Zhou We will now recognize the co-terminal degree graduates receiving a Master of Science in Finance and a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Ayman Moizuddin. Ricardo Malares Torres. Madina Thomas. We will now recognize one more PhD graduate in Management Science. Li Shouhao. We will now recognize the graduates receiving a Master of Mathematical Finance. I'll invite Program Director, Dr. Thomas Baleski, to congratulate the graduates. Ziheng Guo. Jay Prakash Kutula. Wei Jie Lai. Yiqing Liu. Yiwen Lu. Yue Liu. Chun Ouyang. 嘉禾徐、志源徐、昭张、一君赵、天享正、We will now recognize the graduates receiving a Master of Public Administration. I invite Associate Dean and Program Director, Dr. Roland Kalia, to congratulate the graduates. And I invite Dr. Joanne Howard to read the graduates' names.
Yishan Ding. David Dizelhorst. Robin Michelle Hackett Bradley. Gladys Hurst. Isaac Andre Lambert. Meng Lee. Ting Lee.
All right, this one's gonna go, I guess.
Liang Liang. Jin Lee Lin. Zhao Liu. Shi-Young Liu. Cornelius McCaster.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah Wahid Mohammed. Jing Young. Young Young. We will now recognize the co-terminal degree graduates receiving a Master of Public Administration and a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Ethan Christopher Castro. Alan Wong. We will now recognize the Master of Public Administration graduates from our China Scholarship Council cohort. Kaidu Chern. Shi Ding. Cao Gu. Jiawei Gu. Luyang Hun. Jiwei He. Shuwan Jia. Chia P. Kong. Guidong Lee. Youngchin Lee. Tiao Liu. Wenli Xuan. Shokun Wang. Yifan Wang. Shurun Wang. Shihun Wang. Young Wu. Xinxing Sheng. Jakun Shu. Yicheng Yao. Run Shung. We will now recognize the graduates receiving a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. I invite Program Director Dr. John Twomley to stand and congratulate the graduates, and I invite Dr. Smriti Anand to read the graduates' names.
Arvin Beriel. Evelyn Cardiel. Nicholas Chavez. Dominic Cutinello. Arceli Figueroa. Malik Hauser. Anastasios Manolis. Frank B. Miller. Jason Alexander Morris. Yuzhong Ki. Esteban Rojas. Annie Simmons. David Tang. Bowen Wang. Nina Tamaras. We are honored to have Illinois Tech distinguished alumni Vezi and Amit Okhandiar with us today to present their son with his diploma. Rohit Okhandiar. And that concludes the recognition of the graduates. I now invite Board Chair Rosemary Mitchell to return to the podium.
Please join me in another round of applause for our graduates. It is my honor to now introduce Dr. John Belson, the John and May Calamos Stuart School of Business Dean, Endowed Chair, Professor of Finance, and Director of the Master of Science in Finance program. Dean Belson has been a member of Stuart's faculty for more than 20 years and has published over 70 academic articles. Dean Belson began his academic career at Northwestern University and has held various appointments at University of Melbourne, International Monetary Fund, University of Chicago, National Bureau of Economic Research, Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, Graduate School of Business at Stanford University, and Hoover Institution on War, Revolution, and Peace. Please join me in welcoming Dean Belson.
Thank you, Rosemary. As Dean of the Stuart School of Business at the Illinois Institute of Technology, I recognize that you have fulfilled all of the requirements in your respective fields of study. You may now switch the tassel on your graduation cap from the right to the left. Congratulations. As I commend the class of 2019, I would like to join Board Chair Rosemary Mitchell in offering equal praise to your family and friends for the sacrifices they have made and for the confidence, love, and support that they have shown you. Whether they are with you here today or thinking of you from afar, I know they are very, very proud of your accomplishments. Graduates, please stand once again, turn to face the audience, and join me in giving your family and friends a round of applause. Okay, now we can sit down. Graduates, this is a day to be proud of your accomplishments. As a father myself, I recognize the pride felt by your family and friends. It is the pride that Ellen Jordan and Vezi and Amit Akandahar must be feeling as they welcome another generation of Illinois Tech alumni into their families. You all have great reason to be proud of your association with this university. We are small, and yet we are associated with some of the most important technological advances of the past century. Magnetic tape allowed information to be transformed electronically. Cell phones allowed personal communication without ties to a landline. Both of these inventions, which have transformed our modern world, were created at this university. Illinois Tech is also known as the birthplace of modern architecture. When you look back at the city from this campus, you can see the iconic buildings that were constructed using the technology developed by Mies van der Rohe. You should also be proud of your association with the Stuart School. The Stuart School is named after Harold Stuart, who created the Halsey Stuart financial firm that was responsible for financing many of the innovative businesses that were started in Chicago in the last century. Samuel Insull, who started his business life as Thomas Edison's personal secretary, came to Illinois and created a company that is now known as Commonwealth Edison. Harold Stuart convinced Insull to invest in an elevated transportation system as a way of creating a market for the power that Commonwealth Edison was generating. That system eventually became known as the Chicago Transit Authority, which was voted one of the 7 wonders of Chicago. So when you take a ride on the CTA, I hope you'll always remember that it was all due to Harold Stuart. This history of innovation and technology, which continues today, is the legacy you inherit as graduates of Illinois Tech and the Stuart School of Business. You now have the opportunity to continue to build on that legacy for future generations of Illinois Tech students. What will you do with that opportunity? Michelle and Ethan spoke eloquently about how their education has prepared them and how they will apply it in their future endeavors. The Stuart School of Business is, with good reason, known, respected, and highly rated for its mastery of analytics, data, and metrics. We also see among our students, faculty, and certainly among our alumni, mastery of the human aspect that Ethan and Michelle talked about. These are the characteristics that truly make us wonderful friends, colleagues, mentors, and productive contributors to society. Illinois Tech is a student-focused university. Our aim at Stuart is to always launch our graduates into successful careers. Our courses are designed to provide students with current knowledge in their field. Our approach extends beyond the classroom, where we provide instruction in professional communication and career planning. It is important to us that the education we provide is relative to students' future careers. Internships, competitions, yay competitions, capstone projects, and working in teams to solve problems are all critical components of the overall Stuart experience. The final portion of my address is about the beginning of your future life. You will be leaving our school and entering a wider society that is in the midst of momentous change, as our keynote speaker, Blue Putnam, described. I know that speakers always say this at a commencement, but in this case it is undoubtedly true. Howard Tillman, our new executive director of the Kaplan Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, said, "The rate of technological progress today is the fastest it has ever been in the past 50 years, and it is the slowest that it will ever be in the next 50 years. Your success in the world will depend upon your ability to adapt to these circumstances. Time and again, I hear about Stuart alumni leveraging their education along with their talent and experience to launch their careers. I'm going to briefly tell you about 3 recent graduates and what they are doing now. In 2015, Anthony Thurston earned both an undergraduate degree in business administration and a Master of Science in Finance from the Stuart School. Anthony held 2 internships, one at McDonald's Corporation and one at Accenture. He also received valuable guidance about working in a corporate setting from his mentor, Illinois Tech and alumnus and trustee Frank Clark III, a member of the Stuart Board of Advisors. Anthony is now a technology consultant with Accenture based in Atlanta. Since graduating with a Master of Science in Marketing Analytics and Communication in 2015, Maggie Dean has worked with global media, advertising, and marketing agencies. She credits her studies, her mentor Rosemary Mitchell, and the guidance she received from Stuart staff and faculty for helping her begin her career. Currently, she is working in Chicago as a supervisor for analytics and insights at Spark Foundry. And finally, I'd like to tell you about 2017 Stuart graduate Catherine Sanchez. She was working full-time as a Chicago police officer while attending the Master of Public Administration program. She said the program was challenging, the courses were relevant, and the faculty had real-world experience. It was her capstone project that propelled her career as a police officer in an unexpected direction. She researched and developed a new model for police response to people in mental health crises. Her model was implemented within the Chicago Police Department's 19th district on the city's north side, and she became the department's first mental health resource officer. Catherine is now a leader in efforts to improve police interactions with mentally ill people. She collaborates with local health and social service agencies to address the needs of chronic offenders with mental health issues. These are just a few of our graduates. We are fortunate to have so many talented and impactful alumni. I look forward to sharing some of your stories at future commencements. In closing, please join me once again in thanking both our amazing student speakers for sharing their experience with us, and thanks to keynote speaker Blue Putman for his insightful commencement address. I would also like to thank Board Chair Rosemary Mitchell and our board members, the members of the Stuart Commencement Committee, and all the staff and student volunteers for organizing today's event. Thanks to the entire Stuart School of Business faculty and staff who work tirelessly to help our students succeed academically and professionally. Thank you, guys. Finally, would everybody please join me in congratulating the Stuart School of Business class of 2019. Thank you.
We just have one more request. We ask that guests remain in their seats and keep the aisles clear during the recessional, with our stage party leading and then followed by the graduates. After the recession has concluded, please join us for a reception. Ushers will guide you to the reception area, and we look forward to celebrating with you at that time. Thank you so much.